My name is Andrew Kreizes, and welcome to the next installment of Nielsen IQ's Founders Series. This video series will dive into the many facets of launching a CPG brand, from perfecting the formulation to securing a meeting with retailers, from getting on a retailer's shelf to scaling the business. Each episode will shine a light on the challenges and successes of startup CPG brands. Joining me today to share her story as a CPG founder is Kristen Fracassi, founder of Root and Splendor. Welcome, Kristen.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome to reconnect with you after our Pitch Slam and C360.
Absolutely.
And we're excited to have a chat here. So let's just start off basic. Give us a little background. Who are you? How did you create this brand, Root and Splendor, that we're hearing so much about?
Yeah, it's fun to talk about. So my name is Kristen Fracassi, and I am the founder and owner of Root and Splendor. And I always like to start off by saying I'm a mom to 4 boys. And so the heart and the soul of this business is just coming from a mom perspective and really wanting the best products for my kids. And I had no intention of starting a business. Actually, I truly just saw a hole in the market. I could not find products, especially our laundry care products that we have available to us on the market today. I could not find any products that were both safe for my kids and got us great results. A lot of the natural products out there still use ingredients that are still not safe for us, and then they just didn't work great. So I decided I was going to formulate something. My intention was to keep it just for my family. But it was a total of 5 years of research and development. And the more science I learned, the more chemistry I learned, the more I realized we have something truly unique. So I hired some chemists and enzyme scientists along the way until we got the formulas that we have today. And that's really where Root and Splendor began.
I love it. Coming out of an absolute personal family need. And as a parent with 2 kids, I can totally attest to that.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you created this. We've got it in our house as well. So you had that idea, you started getting the formulation. What were some of those first steps that you took to really solidify this from a concept to okay, this is a brand, this is a product launch?
Yeah, that was great. So my kids get super messy. We live in a rural area in San Diego, and the boys get messy, and I cannot at all control what gets on their clothes, that's for sure. So they would come with all sorts of stains and odors. And the early formulations, what I really, really wanted was some key things was to have just natural ingredients that were safe for people and planet and got us those excellent results. And so those were the 3 driving forces of Root and Splendor, and where everything that has grown and developed since then, we look through those 3 lenses when we're formulating and manufacturing to truly fill a need that we had in the market.
Love it. Now, so once you got that formulation, the product going, how did you convince your first significant retailer to?
And because I did not come from this as an entrepreneur or a business owner, once we had the formulas that worked great for us, so we were testing our formulas, we loved them, but I wanted to make sure that they truly did work. So I sent our formulas for our laundry soap and stain remover out for third-party lab testing. Awesome. And the results came back at the premium level. So when you're talking about premium laundry detergent, this is laundry detergent and stain remover that's going to actively and effectively remove odors and stains. So not just mask odors, not just leave the stains there, but actually remove them. So premium is your best level of clean that you can get. And so when our lab results came back at the premium level for just 1 tablespoon of product, I knew we had something truly unique. And I remember getting those lab results back and just being so thrilled. I just literally was jumping up and down we did it. 5 years of formulation. And I stayed true to the standards that I wanted, and we got the formulas. So that's really what gave me the confidence to go out there to retailers and start selling it, because I did know we had something truly unique. So I started cold calling, and that's
hustling. You gotta hustle.
Hustling for sure. No experience in this at all. I would call retailers and introduce them to my products and send out samples and just trying to gain some of that traction. I remember when our first retailer said yes to us, I felt like it was a huge accomplishment. I knew we had something unique, but I wanted to make sure other people knew we had something super special as well. So once it started selling, that's really when the train started moving. We've been so fortunate in that retailers are now coming to us. I still hustle a lot as a founder. I definitely hustle, but retailers are coming to us asking for our products, which is so exciting because now we've got that organic traction, this word of mouth that people love our products. They trust our brand. They love how we formulate. So it's been great to see the growth since then.
Awesome. Well, good to hear. Now, along the way, obviously you hit on a couple of these, but there's challenges. What would you say was some of the biggest challenges in starting the brand, getting the product, getting it into retail? What was the biggest challenge that you faced?
It's hard to say the biggest. Again, coming from not an entrepreneurial position or a business owner position, I had to learn everything as we went. Yeah. So when it came down to shipping things via freight or using our shipping carriers, that was a huge challenge, just learning all the dynamics and all the pricing structures that went in that. Finding suppliers that would work with my small order quantities was probably the biggest challenge early on. So as a new brand, we were and still are self-funded, and I wanted to grow this brand financially strong from the get-go. I didn't want to get into a lot of debt. I wanted to be very smart. So the raw materials I brought in, the packaging I brought in, I wanted to make sure we could move. So my order quantities were small. So a lot of suppliers told me, no way, they won't work with me. A lot of the minimum orders were, in the thousands or $1 million ranges. And I'm just like, I can't do that. So the early stages, the challenges were finding those people that would work with me. And I love that was the foundation, because I am so relational. So in my relationships with the retailers, we're on the phone a lot, we're dialoguing, we're communicating, but also with my suppliers that I use, those are the relationships that I tend to really be drawn to still to this day, are those suppliers that we have that connection. So they were willing to work with me when I was small, and now we've grown together and I can buy a lot more from them now.
Right. Love that. I think that's key, is that at the end of the day, it's building relationships, right? I think that's fundamental, investing the time into it.
That's been huge.
Well, that's great. So I obviously had a good experience with you going deep on some of the data side, but I would just love to hear from your experience either in the Pitch Slam or since then, how has data or insights become part of your strategy or influence kind of your strategy and where you're going?
That's great. Well, as a whole, I have to say NIQ has been foundational. The support and the encouragement we get from so many different people at NIQ that cannot be replaced. You guys truly care as a company, and I feel that firsthand, not just with myself, but even my business. So being able to utilize the data has really, we've never used it before, meeting with NIQ. Yeah. So now we start to think about, okay, how are we going to market things? How are we going to just keep promoting our products in a way that is attainable, that retailers and direct to consumer audience want to know about? So that's been really helpful and very insightful to us. Awesome.
Love it. Now, last question here. We'll keep it short for the audience. But there's a lot of founders, people new to CPG who listen to this series. So what would be like one, final piece of advice that you leave us with for any new founder who's struggling to start a business? What would that piece of advice be?
Oh, that's great. I think I would leave them with kind of what I touched on just a minute ago, is that the hustle is real, but don't give up. When you are passionate about what you have, what you've created, don't give up on it, because the roadblocks and the challenges will be there, but getting through that and just staying in the grind, it's so worth it, especially when you really believe in what you have. And you'll see some momentum at some point. You'll starting to see a little shift. So I would say to all new founders out there, just keep up the great work and connect with people. So networking has been huge for me, just meeting people, similar founders, similar people, even in similar life stages has been helpful. Meet people, get out there, get that community, get that support, and each connection leads to another connection. So you never know, like, when that next networking meeting is going to turn into a bigger and a deeper relationship for the company. So keep it up. Don't stop.
Love it. Awesome. Very motivating. So thank you, Kristen. It's a fantastic story about your brand.
Thank you.
Something we're all fans of, and I personally absolutely love. But again, thank you. So this has been
thank you.
Another episode of our Nielsen IQ Founder Series, where we dive deep with some of the most innovative brands and founders to unpack how brands launch and grow in the CPG space. This video is brought to you by Nielsen IQ, where we are revolutionizing the CPG industry and democratizing data and analytics for emerging brands. To learn more, check out nielseniq.com/Pfizer. Thank you.